Good afternoon, Mrs. West. How are you?
Well, thanks, Eli. Yourself, please call me Stacey.
I'm fantastic, thanks. Was Tom not able to make it today? Is he well?
Yeah, he's well. Unfortunately, he had a soccer game today, which meant that he couldn't make it here.
Oh, okay. Who are they playing this week? And did he end up winning last Friday?
I'm led to believe they're playing the GERI Bulldogs this week, and last week they won 3-1, which was nice. Unfortunately, Tom didn't score.
Oh, well, I guess you can't always score.
I suppose not.
Hopefully you can make it to our next meeting. I will provide you with some documents to take home for him that will hopefully answer any of his questions. May I offer you a drink before we begin?
No, that should be fine, thank you.
Okay, let's begin. So, have you and Tom had a chance to read the financial services guide that I provided you with after last meeting?
We have had a fairly quick browse, but we haven't really had the chance to read that much.
Okay, that's alright. Feel free to ask questions at any stage if you don't understand something that I've said. Also, I'd just like to reaffirm that all of the information you've provided me with and continue to provide me with is completely confidential.
Sure, that sounds good.
So basically the purpose of this meeting is so that I can ask some questions to clarify the information you've given me and get a better understanding of yours and Tom's financial goals and your risk appetite. I've reviewed the information that you gave me last week and I found that it was quite obvious that you and Tom have a lot of trouble when it comes to saving money. Would you agree with this?
Absolutely. We always say that we want to save money, but then we continue to live it day by day, which makes it extremely difficult to save.
Yes, that must make it difficult. There are a number of free budgeting apps, however, which you and Tom could use to help with budgeting, such as Pocketbook, or if you don't want to use one of those, I'm more than happy to make a budget for you guys. Would you and Tom be willing to make and follow a budget in order to save, however?
Yeah, for sure. We're tired of never having money put away when we need to, so I guess a budget would be really handy.
Which brings me to the next topic of your goals. So from memory, you and Tom wish to buy a house as soon as possible and would like to go on an overseas trip within the next 10 years. Is this correct?
Yeah, so we've always wanted to own our first home. We just haven't had the opportunity to, and we'd love to go travelling to South America in the near future as well.
Wow, that would be an amazing experience. I've heard the culture over there is incredible, and I'm sure the fact so many famous soccer players live over there would interest Tom.
I know, right? I feel like I'll just be dragged around to soccer matches instead of actually getting to see things because Tom just wants to go and see soccer fans.
Yeah. So in terms of your goal to purchase a house, however, another issue that may affect your ability to do this is your current debt situation. As you guys are currently paying only interest on your credit cards, the balance of those is actually not decreasing. You also have a significant amount of debt attached to your vehicles. One way that this debt can be reduced quickly is if you and Tom decide to make additional payments, which would also decrease the interest you pay on those in the long run. Would you and Tom be willing to make additional payments for your loans and increase your credit card repayments in order to get rid of some of your debts before purchasing a house?
Sure, so we'd love to purchase a house as soon as possible, but if our debt will inhibit our ability to loan money, then I suppose we'll have to.
So in terms of saving for a holiday and for your retirement, however, an investment portfolio may be used and is probably the best way to fund these. You currently have approximately $8,000 in cash sitting in your bank accounts. This capital is receiving little to no interest and is therefore not really doing anything for you. There are many investment opportunities which over a long period may make far better returns which you could be taking advantage of. These investments would also provide you with a further source of income. Would you and Tom be willing to build an investment portfolio in order to increase your income and provide funding for your holiday to South America and retirement?
We'd be willing to, so long as there was money for us available when we needed it in case any needs arise.
Yeah, of course. So in terms of an investment portfolio though, you and Tom answered majority of the questions I gave to you last week on the risk tolerance test. However, I've just got a couple more for you to complete. Is it alright if we do those now?
That's fine. I've got a fair idea of how Tom feels regarding risk, so I'll just run everything past him once he gets home, and if there's any differences, we'll let you know.
Yeah, that's more than okay. So when you build a long-term investment portfolio, over a short period of time, you may notice losses in the value of your assets. These fluctuations happen often. However, if you found that your investment had decreased in value by 20%, what would you guys do?
So Tom and I would probably get a little bit nervous about the decrease. We're trying to get in touch with you just to have a chat about how the changes have occurred and what you think we should do about them.
Okay, so that brings me to my last question for the risk tolerance test. How important is it for you to have cash readily available to meet unexpected expenses or investment opportunities?
It isn't really too important to us. Like if we needed money, it would be nice to have access to it, especially in emergencies. But as long as it's possible, if we really needed it, then we're happy to.
Lovely. So if you just give me a moment, I'll work out the scores. Okay, so I figured out the scores, and it shows that you and Tom have a growth outlook when it comes to your investments. This basically shows that you're seeking to maximise your long-term capital growth, although you don't really wish to make unbalanced investment decisions. And unbalanced investment decisions just basically refer to a riskier form of investments where you don't negatively correlate them.
What does that mean? Sorry, yeah.
So negatively correlating is when, for example, you buy two assets that when one sort of suffers from a loss, it's usually because the other is booming. So it sort of helps counter out losses over the period of the time that you hold them.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Does this result sound correct?
Yeah, so Tom and I understand that in order to make high returns, we have to take some risks, but I'm not entirely sure to what extent that really applies.
Well, Stacey, that's all the questions I have for you today. Before we conclude this meeting, is there any further queries or questions that you might have?
I think I understand everything now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Stacey. Thank you for coming in today. I hope all of your questions were answered, and if you think of anything further before our next consultation, feel free to send me an email. On your way out, feel free to see Mavis at reception to organise your next consultation. I'm looking forward to seeing both you and Tom again. Thank you.
Thank you.